The British Grand Prix, the biggest event in the country's motorsport year, and the tens of thousands of fans who flocked to Silverstone were treated to an afternoon of daring and spirit as Nigel Mansell came back from a long way behind to win the British Grand Prix. But there was still plenty of action for the fans after the conclusion of the Formula 1 race, with the sixth round of the British Touring Car Championship, the biggest round of the series, taking place, the British Grand Prix support race. And it was a big grid that was attracted to this special event, lots of one-off entries, the most high profile being that of Win Percy, who in real life took over Andy Rouse's number 1 ICS Sierra as the British Grand Prix clashed with the fourth round of the World Touring Car Championship at the Nürburgring. For our championship, obviously, as we've said, Andy Rouse isn't hampered by date clashes in our world, so he's doing the full British Touring Car Series, but Win Percy has still got a start in our series in the British Grand Prix support race in car number 11, the third of the ICS Sierras. Dave Brodie has dusted the cobwebs off the Mitsubishi Starion, now resplendent in Atari livery, again for his first appearance of the year in car number 9, and he's right up the front of the field just as he was when he left the 1986 campaign off at the finale at Silverstone. The biggest news is the debut of Frank Sittner in the BMW M3. ProDrive prepared and expected to be not just a front runner in Class B, but also an outright campaigner, and will seriously dent the hopes of the other Class B runners in the rest of the championship. Another one-off in this event, Tiff Needell in car number 70. Now in real life he had a little front-wheel drive hatchback Toyota Corolla for this event, but that's not available in the Touring Car Legends mod. So he's in a rear-wheel drive Toyota Corolla, which is in the sedan shape, which was less common in the British series, but more common across Europe. Another one-off alongside him in the second of the Chris Hodgetts cars is Will Hoy, car number 69, and this means that unlike the previous round where there was less than 5 Class D runners, which meant full points couldn't be awarded for the class, today with the number of Class D runners exceeding 5 means full points will be on offer for all the drivers, including Chris Hodgetts, in his chase for the outright championship. So let's now go and have a look at the grid for the 6th round of the British Touring Car Championship, and as you'll see, Win Percy has pole position in car number 11, the ICS Sierra, leading an all Ford Sierra front row with Andy Rouse, the Class A Series leader, alongside. The inside of row number 2, Dave Brodie in the Starion, right up the front as expected, and he's joined on row 2 by Tim Harvey in the first of the Rovers. Row 3 on the inside, Frank Sittner in the Class B BMW, right up amongst the front runners as expected, despite Silverstone being a power circuit. Joining him on row number 3, Mike Newman in the first of the 635, so you've got the new BMW and the superseded old BMW on the third row. We are inside row number 4, Russ Dougman in car number 12, upholding the older of the BMW's honour, and we're joined on row number 4 by Graham Good in the Listerine Sierra. Position number 9, Rob Gravett in one of the production spec Ford Sierras. Car number 16, usually campaigning in the National Production Saloon Series in 1987, doing a one-off at the British Grand Prix, and he's joined on row number 5 by David Carvel in the Castrol Rover. Position 11, a long way back for Dennis Leach, who's been up the front of the field for most of the season. He's joined on row 6 by Mike O'Brien in the Commodore, a long drop for O'Brien, who of course was on the front row at round 5 here at Silverstone. Position 13, a long way back also, Pete Hall in the ICS Sierra, showing the depth of Class A in this round of the series, joined by Graham Scarborough out of position number 14 in the Letchworth Roofing Rover. From 15, second in Class B and a long way behind the BMW M3, Carl Jones in the Duckham's number 22. Out of 16, another of the Prod Saloon Ford Sierras, Mike Smith, the Mobil sponsored number 15. Position 17, Graham Hathaway, the Class B Series leader, and he's joined on row number 9 by Mark Hales in a fellow Escort. Position 19, Rob Kirby in the first of the Alfa Romeos. Alongside him, Brian Chatfield in the Rover, car number 14. Position 21, Roger Saunders, first of the Class C cars in the Metro. He's joined on row 11 by Chris Hodgetts, the leading Class D campaigner. Position 23, Alan Minshaw. Now, he did return in Class C at this round. In real life he was in a Golf, but the Golf's not available in the mod, so he's running a Demon Tweaks Metro. And he's joined on row number 12 by Colin Piercy in another of the Metros. Position 25, third of the Prod Saloon Ford Sierras, Jerry Marnie, in the same colour scheme as Rob Gravitt, the Aquati colours. Car number 18, he's joined by Tiff Nadell in position number 26, second of the Class D runners. Position 27, Will Hoy in the number 69 Toyota Corolla, second of the Chris Hodgetts cars, and alongside him John Dooley in the second of the John West Alphas. Position 29, Jeff Kimber-Smith in the Toyota Corolla, joined by Tony Crudgington, car number 62. Position 31, Phil Dowsett, Class D Ford Escort, car number 74, and now joining him on this row. In real life, the grid was bolstered for the British Grand Prix support race by little Renault 5 one-make cars. They're not available in Touring Car Legends, but Metro one-make cars are, so that's what we're using to bulk up the grid, just like in real life. Les Germain, car number 91, is out of position number 32. From 33, Anthony Pownell in car number 133. Nicholas Phillips, car number 81, out of position 34. David Grimshaw, car 61, from position 35. From 36, Alex Poston in car number 51. Position 37 is Mark Goddard in a Class D Ford Escort, who set no time in qualifying, and he's joined by Paul Harmer in another of the one-make Metros, rounding out the grid. The biggest crowd of the year, the biggest grid of the year. Revs are up. Green lights on and away we go. Mike Newman just to our left. We've got Frank Sittner in the M3 in front of us. Down to Cops Corner for the first time. Oh, Mike Newman comes across on us. We just save it. Newman crowded us a little bit. We got cars coming from everywhere as we go up the back straight. Through into Beckett's. Back to third gear, Dennis Leach, Mike O'Brien in the Commodore. We got a Sierra off. It's Win Percy rather. Win Percy on lap 1 has had a big moment. And the pole sitter looks like he's out of the race. We've got Rob Gravitt's given us, pushed us off. Have we saved it and kept a spot? We haven't, but that could have been a really nasty accident. To Club Corner for the first time. I can't keep up with what's going on lap 1. Gravitt a bit slow there. He's in the production spec car as he crowds us. We give him a nudge. We're going to keep our line. Not quite up to the same spec as the Group A models. A lot of action going on up here in the pack. Dennis Leach ahead of us. So we come around now, we're going to end lap 1 in 9th place. What an action-packed first lap. Such a shame for Win Percy. Oh, we held it. Just held it. It's given Rob Gravitt a bit of a chance to get up near us. We'll come down, we'll try and get onto the back of the group ahead. Rovers, Sierras, all among it. Mike Newman will be in there somewhere. Down the back straight. Rob Gravitt in the Sierra, a lot of pace in that car. The Group N spec machine. Something happened there to the Demon Tweaks Rover because he slowed right up. Rob Gravett doing a great job. Been a bit too keen on the brakes on these early laps. Bounce over the curb at Abbey. Leach is still going. I don't know what his issue was. Inside of David Carvel. And the Rover just ahead of us. We give him a little nudge. Running quite late in the day here at Silverstone, of course, after the British Grand Prix. Trying to finish the day off. Fans, of course, plenty of excitement in the Grand Prix itself, with Nigel Mansell coming from a long way back to beat Nelson Piquet in a Williams Honda 1-2. Back to third gear. Fourth gear. Down the hanger straight for the third time. Grab it right behind us. So we throw it in a bit better that time through Stowe. And the long run up to club. Hasn't been our corner in either of the two rounds so far this year here at Silverstone. And the long run from here, we go up flat out through Abbey, then up to the chicane to end the lap, the Woodcote chicane. And are we close enough to have a go at Carvel? Oh, he got on the brakes so early. We flew into the back of him. That's not very good. So, finished the lap. Harvey and Gooder next up. So, back up to 7th. Through the kink. Back to third gear. Harvey's next up. Looks like he's following Good. And Mike Newman, Frank Sittner just ahead of them in the Pro Drive M3. Having its first run of the season and expected to be in the series for the rest of the year. Carvel. So much horsepower from the Potter Rover. Get ahead. Oh, bit of a nudge. Gets ahead of us into club. Bit of curb. Now up to the Abbey. Abbey curb. Bit better through the exit. A bit of a better overtake that time, so we hook it in. And Graham Good swerves to the left, so he's pulled off the track. He's out of the race. So the Listerine Sierra is out. We've got David Carvel behind us. So we're now in 6th, so we're getting a point. Carvel all over us. Back to third gear. Onto the back straight. Dennis Leach is in behind Carvel. Carvel gives us a nudge. We saved it. Up to Club. And the long haul. From here, through Abbey. Just missed the apex there. Lost a bit of time. Tip it up over the curb. Off! We've blocked the track. And that was a horrible mistake there. Oh. Everyone packed up behind us. Oh, and not Graham Good. I don't know what I'm on about. Dennis Leach gives us a huge nudge. What is happening in this race? So we had a lose coming out of the Woodcote chicane, and that has backed us up into the field. For some reason they all stacked up behind us. So Dennis Leach is in behind us now in the Demon Tweaks Rover, and then Win Percy, after his first lap accident, is scything through the field. So we come through Abbey down to the scene of the crime from the previous lap. Bounce it over the curb, up on two wheels. Try not to do again what we did last lap. Successful this time. So Percy back up to 8th. Who knows how far was he back earlier on. Of course, in real life he did fight his way back through the field as well after a false start. So 3 time we're chasing Mike O'Brien in the Commodore. Percy will have a lot of speed on us. He was a second quicker than anyone else in qualifying. He's outbraked us and we get back up the inside. Bit of over and under. Going to be so much faster than us. Percy just blows by us down the straight. Not much we can do about that. Try and follow him. See the damage all over the third of the ICS Sierras. Through Club. Out the straight. Closing in on the first of the back markers for us. One of the Metro Challenge cars, of course. Place holding effectively all the Renault 5 Turbo cars, which filled the back of the grid at this meeting in real life. So we come down past the yellow car into turn 1. So Percy chasing Mike O'Brien, who's running 6th. What a race of mixed fortune so far. Percy right up behind Mike O'Brien. Of course, Percy later in 1987 would race a Commodore, and they're running into each other, Percy and O'Brien. We're right behind it, try and get in the draft. O'Brien feeds Percy a bit of grass, but Percy keeps the foot in. And Percy sneaks ahead of O'Brien as we come down to Stowe. Percy runs a bit wide, the tail wags on the back of the Sierra. O'Brien stays in behind. We've got our own battle here with Dennis Leach. Oh, we'll lean on Leach. Oh, how did he pull that one off? Out of Abbey to the inside. Oh, and we'll get O'Brien as well. Bounce over the curb. Easy on the throttle. O'Brien gets it back up the inside. Leach will probably try and follow him. Across the line. Over and under on Leach. We'll lean on him through turn one, and he just sneaks ahead, keeps the position. O'Brien catches the Metro in just the wrong place. Okay, on to Hanger Straight in a second. We'll round it up as well. Almost in the grass. I was just saying earlier, of course, Percy would drive a Commodore later in the year, a Roadways Commodore. In Australia, the Sandown 500, Bathurst 1000, and at Wellington. The irony here being that that white car O'Brien's driving is the ex-Alan Grice Roadways Commodore from the 1986 European Touring Car Championship. And not only that, of course, Percy was supposed to drive a TWR Holden Commodore in the 87 World Touring Car Championship before that program got axed. So we're going to be in the same spot here. Oh, Leach goes through, we'll follow him through. O'Brien was very tentative on the brakes there. Around end the lap. So 9 laps down, 6 to go. This race is passing by rather quick. Back to third gear. Use all the curb possible. This is where Leach will gap us because the BMW just doesn't have the pace of the big V8 Rovers. Come down to Stowe now. Trying so hard to make time under brakes. It's easy to go wrong. We've got another of the Metros up ahead of us. Oh, that was a messy corner there. So we come up to the chicane again. And in fact the Metro gets back up the inside of Dennis Leach. They're leaning on each other. We give him a bit of a nudge. So the battle for 7th continues. Get around another of the metros. So we give chase to Leach. Is it worth a dive into Beckett's? Yes, it is. And in fact, he gives us a hit. He gets back through because it's got so much more acceleration. Rob Gravett is in 9th. Great effort in the Sierra. Through Stowe. Of course, this is the 3rd time the series has been to Silverstone in 6 events, and we'll only be here one more time this year, the final round. Much better run than Leach. He gives us room. Inside, clip the curb, which gets a better run, jumps across the curb to get the pass done. Use the curb. Carvel rounding out the top 10. Couldn't quite get the pass done on Leach that time. Of course, we had a great battle with Dennis Leach in round 3 of the series at Thruxton. As there's a bit of smoke up ahead. Someone is about to pull out of the race, I would think. Perhaps one of the metros. But that's a lot of smoke coming. Up to Abbey. A lot of ground on Leach through there. In fact, it's Phil Dowsett in the Rover. Sorry, in the Dennis Leach in the Rover. Phil Dowsett in the little Escort. Oof. Not long for this race, I don't think. There's Leach again. Has a go up the inside. We rub door handles with Leach. He gets away with it. Through the left. So, back onto Hanger Straight. Only 2 laps to go at the end of this race, at the end of this lap rather. That'll be the halfway point in the season. 6 races down, 6 to go. Doesn't look like we're going to get any points at this rate. There's the possibility of a Class A point because Frank Sittner's in a Class B BMW. So a 7th. And we managed to hang on to it. Round to end the lap. Leach comes back at us. So we hold the room off. So 7th place. That will be 1 point in Class A. As I mentioned, because Frank Sittner's in a Class B BMW, so he will win Class B. Oof. That's not good. Leach gets ahead of us. Around now. Stowe, there's only going to be 1 lap to go at the end of this lap. Oh, Leach! Three wide. Out in the grass. Leach gets back ahead. Mark Goddard in the Escort is up ahead. The inside. Oh, Goddard trying to get involved. Leach tries to come around the outside. Oh, we robbed door handles. There's 1 lap to go. Leach gets balked by the Metro. We get ahead. So we're on our last lap. Oh, so determined into that corner. Can we get this spot from Dennis Leach? Roll it in. Balked us both. Can't mess around though because Leach is going to have so much horsepower. Is that going to be enough? 5th gear. Down to the end of the hanger straight. Into Stowe. Don't want to miss the apex this time. Oh, I do a bit, but I think we can save it. To club for the final time. Cover the corner. We've always been able to outbrake Leach into the final corner, so I think this will be enough as long as we don't mess it up. Through Abbey. Woodcote chicane for the final time, so we're going to finish 7th. Oh! Oh! That was hopelessly bad. The tyres must be almost gone, so anyway, we're still going to finish 7th. Get a point for 6th in Class A. And what an exciting race that was. The 6th round of the championship. Let's see who won the British Grand Prix support race. So a big race and a big result. Andy Rouse takes his 3rd win from 6 rounds so far this season, clean sweeping the 3 Silverstone events in the first half of the series, leading home the one-off entry of Dave Brodie and the brand new entry of Frank Sittner in 3rd place and the first of the Class B cars in the BMW M3. Tim Harvey, the 2nd of the regulars, he finishes 4th in the Rover. 5th, another one-off, Win Percy, a big fight back after a first lap drama, and Mike Newman finished 6th in the BMW 635. We finished 7th outright, which given that Frank Sittner in the Class B car finished 3rd, that means we're 6th in Class A and we pick up 1 point, just beating home Dennis Leach, David Carvel, Pete Hall, Mike O'Brien, while Graham Hathaway finishes 12th in the 2nd of the Class B runners. Graham Scarborough was 13th ahead of Brian Chatfield. Chris Hodgetts wins Class D, in 15th place ahead of Rob Grubbett. Alan Minshaw wins Class C, finishing 17th, just ahead of Colin Piercy in 18th. 19th, Roger Saunders in the Metro. Tiff Nadell, he makes the top 20 on his first appearance this year in the Toyota. Second in Class D, leading home Will Hoy. John Dooley 22nd, Mark Goddard 23rd, while Jeff Kimber-Smith finished 24th in the Toyota. So at the halfway point of the season, these are the outright results. Chris Hodgetts has a 14-point lead over Graham Hathaway. Andy Rouse third on 39 points. Roger Saunders sits in fourth. Fifth is Carl Jones in 22, while there's a three-way tie for sixth on 19 points. Dennis Leach, Mark Hales and Jeff Kimber-Smith. The individual class points look like this. Andy Rouse now has a 20-point lead over Dennis Leach. Mike Newman third, while we're equal fourth with David Carvel on 14 points. Class B, Graham Hathaway has a 20-point lead over Carl Jones. Mark Hales third, John Dooley fourth, while Frank Sittner vaults straight up into fifth place. Class C, Roger Saunders has a 5-point lead over Colin Piercy, with Alan Minshaw now joining the points battle. And in Class D, Chris Hodgetts, a perfect score, 56 points, leads Jeff Kimber-Smith way back on 19, Alex Moss 10, Tony Crudgington an 8, and Alan Minshaw and Tiff Nadell tied for 5th on 6 points. So that's half the season down now, 6 rounds down, 6 rounds to go. It's a more varied second half of the season. We only visit Silverstone once, we visit Donington twice, we make a return trip to Alton Park, and we also go to the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit as well as Snetterton. So a lot to come. The championship can only get more interesting. It's been a tough fight so far. I look forward to your company as we journey through the next 6 rounds. Thank you for watching and bye for now.